Amit, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Everything okay?
Yes, sir.
Finally, I have got connected.
So we'll start, sir.
Of course, of course, of course.
Good morning, students, and good morning, my colleagues. Good morning, Principal, sir. We would like to express deepest gratitude to our principal, Dr. Pawan Sharma, who always encourages us to organize such seminars and workshops. He had been principal for the last 2 decades. Dr. Sharma is principal par excellence. Despite of his hectic schedule, he is very particular about his daily class, which shows his dedication towards academics. He is a great visionary and a dynamic leader. Dr. Sharma is also tech savvy and encourages the faculty and staff to use latest technology for increasing efficiency and effectiveness. He is always supportive and encouraging towards the effort that result in all-round development of the students. Sir, from the faculty of the Department of Management, we ensure you that we will leave no stone unturned for the upliftment of academics and betterment of our students. Under your leadership, we will strive to set new benchmarks in academics and bring laurels to our institution. We again thank you for your motivation and exemplary leadership and guidance. Now, I would like to request Dr. Pawan Sharma, our worthy principal, to share the word of wisdom. And I would also like to share with Sir that over 400 students from the Department of Management has registered for this webinar, and at this point of time 250 have joined, from which 30-40 students are still in waiting. So please, Principal Sir, please share some words of wisdom with all the students. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Bhatia. My image is not visible, so I too wanted to see my face here. But
You are
anyhow,
visible, sir.
so you will have to, do with my audio message.
You are
And
visible, sir.
so it's visible.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So we are all new to the use of technology. It's a new world. I mean, though we would like to interact with the students face to face, and that is what we have been craving for. So we have been just praying to the Almighty that everything comes back to normal and we people are able to resume our activities. And we have got the chirping students, just haunting us all around. But we will have to wait till a few months, I think, before we are able to get back to the rhythm of life. So anyhow, so it's a great initiative from the Department of Management, and I am very, hopeful that despite all odds, despite all handicaps, because of this spread of pandemic, so we have been trying to do our level best. Our teachers have been trying to do their level best to continue with the processes of academics to the processes of learning. So, and the number that I have been told by Gaurav and Dr. Bhatia, that we have got a very good number lining up and joining in today to learn something about the basics of resume building. So that is the theme of the, seminar, webinar. So basically you have begun from the very beginning. So that is the key to everything. So we as teachers have been all the time thinking about every possible, every possible thing that we can do to ensure some kind of jobs or employment or right kind of skills for the students. So economics is one of the key factors of human life. Without economics, nothing can happen, nothing can move on. So you have got into the world of business. So that is the main activity you are going to involve yourself in, the students of our college. So that has been our constant effort, that at the end of the day, so when you get out of the college, you must have something positive and something optimistic about the future economics of your life. So I am very, proud to say that we have been able to attract a very good stuff over the years. And even this time, we have not been able to admit anybody with less than 87 or 88% of marks at +2 level. It's really a very encouraging story for us. And So once you get into the college, I'm absolutely sure that you are in safe hands. Your teachers are wonderful. They are absolutely committed, and they are going to involve you through these processes of learning in different aspects of life. You are going to get certain kind of skills at the end of the day. And not only that, you are going to turn into a good human being as well. So far as resume writing is concerned, that is one of the keys. I think when you get into the market, the kind of world that is unfolding in front of you, because you are all in BBA, so you are going to get into the world of business. So you have got this tremendous possibility, but unless you are able to unfold yourself, unless you are able to reveal yourself, unless you are able to, I mean, expose yourself for your talent, your ideas, I mean, your identification to the entire world, which is spread out around you, so you may not be able to be noticed by the business world. So today we have got a digital world. So you have to put up something there about yourself so that people notice it, people notice your skills, people notice your talent, people notice your capacity to work, and people notice everything. And I mean, we may not be aware of the fact that basically when we try to put ourselves in front of somebody, we just try to concentrate on academics. We simply write our qualifications and certain kind of linguistic skills and all that kind of stuff. So that is not all. So what the business people look for is something beyond that. For example, if somebody happens to be a good sportsman, and you think that there is no need to mention about my sporting capabilities there, so no, if you mention it here, so it is going to show you in a better light as a team man, that you have been part of a team. I mean, whenever you get into any kind of business environment, so whatever is required, I mean, even if you lack some bit of skill, that can be trained. That you can be trained by the company or by the enterprise or establishment that you join in. But in addition to that, whatever you have got, in addition to your talent, in addition to your skills suitable for that particular job, so that is also going to be noticed. Your teamwork, your obedience, your discipline, your musical skill, your sensitivity, your aesthetics, so everything counts at the end of the day, because ultimately it is a complete package that they would like to have. So you have begun from the very beginning. That is the key, I think. But just one thing, so at times we just try to create fake world around us, so that has to be avoided, because I think that so we are bound to get exposed, and that is going to show us in a very bad light. So whatever we have got, small or big, so only that has to be recorded truthfully. We have to present ourselves truthfully, and this is not the end of the world. If we don't know anything today, so it can be learned tomorrow. So it's a growing process. Life is in the process of an evolution, so we have to keep on moving and moving. So whatever you have got, if that is presented and there is nothing fake or nothing false given in that resume, so that is going to take you miles ahead, and people are going to appreciate you for your honesty. Because whenever somebody is going to hire you, so honesty is also going to be the key factor. Because so somebody is honest about himself, that person is going to be honest about his work as well. So honesty is a comprehensive kind of phenomenon. So you have to be honest in everything. And in addition to that, so we have been planning it out. I have been sitting with my colleagues in the department. Ultimately, they are the people who have to think about new things. So whatever skills are required, in addition to whatever is being taught as part of the curriculum, so that is also going to be tried in the days to come. So once the colleges reopen again, so we are going to, because we have got certain limitations imposed on us by the university. So we are not we are not able to venture out into different domains which are relevant for the business environment prevailing around. So we have to try to think about it in that, in addition to whatever is being taught as part of the curriculum prescribed by university, we are able to add value to that. For example, world of advertising that has undergone a tremendous shift during the last couple of years. We have got this digital world of advertising and marketing. So for business people, if that is not part of the syllabus, so we have to try to make students aware of that possibility. Computer is again a great skill, though it's taught only as a small part of your curriculum, but whatever is possible to be done as an additional framework of curriculum, even if we have to engage somebody for extra classes, so that you are absolutely equipped, absolutely trained in the handling of the computers, that is also going to be a key. And communication is another factor, because ultimately, so whatever you have got in your head in terms of ideas, so that ideas have to be translated in the form of a language, on computer, in writing, or through verbal communication. So you have to be having a good communication skill. You have to have a good computing skills. And I mean, the field of study that you are interested in, because business is a big term, you have got various dimensions of the term. So all these dimensions may not be close to your heart. So whichever field you want to excel in, whether it be human resource or marketing, or I mean, any other domain, so you have to excel in that. So that is a good beginning. Great number have joined in. So I'm thankful to the Department of Management for initiating this wonderful, I mean, webinar. So so today we have got a speaker as well. Achha, today we have got a very enlightened speaker. So I mean, कौन है? Acha, Bullseye. Bullseye is a famous name coaching I think establishment. So it is situated in Delhi, Chandigarh, everywhere, in every metropolitan city it is there. So they have been trying to train people. So they have got their motives as well. So we are not going to be driven by those motives. We are just going to, I mean, get some benefit for the students. So these experts are going to guide our students through. So thank you very much. I am really happy. और ये मुझे भी नहीं ये दुनिया आती, मैं भी थोड़ा सा बैठ के सुनूंगा आप लोगों को थोड़ी देर के लिए. Thank you, Dr. Amit. Thank you for giving me this opportunity. So welcome you all. Thank you.
Thank you, Principal Sir. Thank you so much for enlightening us with the words of wisdom and what you have told us about honesty and honesty in work. We'll try to bring it in our lives, as well as we'll try to inculcate in the lives of our students as well, because this is the only way where we can excel in our lives. So now I would like to request Madam Sarkar to start with the resume building exercise, which was the major motive for today. So I would like to request students as well, so that they can now listen it very carefully and try to learn as much as they can. Thank you, ma'am. Please.
Thank you, sir. Good morning, everyone. First of all, thanks to the Department of Management, thanks to Principal Sir, thanks to Amit Sir, and thanks to Gaurav Sir for giving us the opportunity to begin. And good morning, students. I just request you to use the chat box as much as possible. That honesty, to be technologically aware about the things, to be into the research and development thing, whatever parameters sir has discussed, actually we will be taking care of those things, though today the main motive is to understand resume building. So guys, first most important thing that I want to know, am I having a mixed crowd? Like what are you pursuing for? Can I get some acknowledgement from your side? And I guess I'm audible. Okay, BBA. So all of you are maximum from BBA, or anyone else also I'm having? Okay, BCA, fine. Fine. Okay, okay. Thank you so much, MCOM. Okay, so mixed crowd I'm having. It's a great honor for me. So let's begin our journey. So it is said whenever we are planning for resume building, that means we are planning for our career, right? So once we are planning for our career, so the most important thing is that you have to understand what are the things I need to take care. It is very true. 2020 has changed the whole thing. We are right now standing in such a pedestal where the competition is very tough, and believe me, the competition is going to get more tougher. So in that sense, the first important thing is that you have to believe, as said by Dante, that if you believe that you are the best person in the room, then you are definitely in the wrong room, because people are way better. You have to accept it. As a student, especially, it is always better that you be into learning. You accept about others and you try to learn every day. Learning habits should be always there. Even if you're doing, as some people are writing, I know for fun about the government jobs and all. So even if you are in being a professional also, there is no end of learning. So you should learn, right? So that is the first note that we should take care. With that note, let's begin our journey. And I will request you that please use the chat box if there is something interesting. Don't make this a very gloomy one. Otherwise, I have to remove those people who are writing those stupid things in the chat box. Thank you so much. So moving with the show. And if you have any doubt, please use the chat box. Okay, so once we talk about resume writing, the first important step, that is, don't limit yourself. What is resume? Resume is something where you present yourself. What is PR? It is a way where you advertise yourself. You have to make the other person believe that, yes, I'm the best person in the room and please give me the opportunity. That is what the main motive is. It in a very simple way, if you say, or if you have to define this thing, right? So the most important thing is don't limit yourself. That is very, very important. Excel, take part, learn, unlearn, relearn. This is how you have to keep on moving, right? So moving on. Now today main objectives will be, first we have to understand that how to stand out from the crowd. Okay, Sabina ma'am, you are there, I guess. Sabina ma'am, can I have some acknowledgement?
Yes, ma'am, I'm here.
Yes, I think some people are there who are misusing the chat box. So I will
I'm on
request you to remove those so
Done,
that
ma'am.
if some genuine question can come, we can deal, right?
Done. Okay.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Okay, so the most important thing that we will be taking care are the objectives. The objective is how to stand out of the crowd, because it is said every time that you have to create your own brand. It is said every time you have to be different from others. How to do that? Next is definitely the methodology, how to include, interesting and some unique information so that you can create your own brand. Next is result analysis. Once we talk about result analysis, it means we have to create our best impression, because I think all of you will agree with me that your first impression is the last impression. And while you are planning for a job, where you are planning for a professional arena, I think your resume is the first impression. So you have to take care of it. And the conclusion is that we will learn at the end of the session, that one chance if you're getting, you have to excel, you have to give your best, because every chance, if you consider that this is the only chance I'm getting in my life and I have to give my best, I think definitely nobody can stop you to excel. Now coming to the next point, though, why we are taking care of resume writing, we know. Now how to deal with it. Now believe me, in this COVID-19 time, we all know we are checking out so many information around us, right? The world has come to the small material called mobile, where we can, or internet rather, where we can check so many information, ample of videos, ample of blogs, ample of articles regarding resume writing. But what happens? We get confused. So the first thing that as a mentor I want to share with you is that whenever we are talking about resume writing, believe me, do it as you want, because you are the best person to deal with it. You are the best person who can do it. Nobody else. No need of help from any expert just for a recheck. That can be done. But believe me, you have to do it yourself. Why? Because you know yourself very nicely, and nobody else can tell you how you are, how you can be projected nicely in this particular parameter. So stand out. It is very important that you should try to do it yourself. Yes, I know as a student, we prefer to copy from our friends, but definitely we can copy. Maybe the format, maybe the style, but please not word to word. That should be avoided. Now, moving to the next one. How many of you are into the reading part? Because as I said, there are so many things we have to understand before we delve with resume writing. So can I have some acknowledgement, guys? How many of you are actually, how many of you are into the reading part? How many of you prefer to read? Now, this is a very stupid question. I know you must feel that why ma'am is talking about this. Yes, Amish, I will come to that thing. You can put your question. Okay. So maximum of you are telling that you read. That's great to know that you people are into the reading part. As you are back basically from the management part, I'm having actually BBA, BCA students. So now my next question is, do you know what is Anvikshiki? What is Anvikshiki? Anyone? What is Anvikshiki? Okay, now if you don't know, next question will be, have you read or have you learned anything about Arthashastra? What is Arthashastra? As sir was talking about economics, you have heard about Arthashastra. So can somebody tell me what is Arthashastra? Hota kya hai? It's a Shastra, okay. Fine, definitely we can understand. Something related with economics. Exactly. Thank you so much, Paras. So whenever you read Arthashastra, you should have come to the terminology that is Anvikshiki. Now, what is Anvikshiki? Now, when we come, yes, definitely, guide to control a country. Exactly. So how to be a good king? That is what Chanakya Niti told us. Right? That is what Arthashastra is linked with. And that is what in this modern generation we are talking about, that you have to be a good leader. You have to lead. You have to control a team. You have to work as a team player, right? So all these things can be done when you are aware about the things. Now, why I'm talking about Arthashastra, why I'm talking about Anvikshiki, the point is to excel in the PI and resume writing. You have to understand, you have to believe, and you have to prove that you are a good leader. Now, how to be a good leader? Good leader means when you are having strategic thinking. Okay. Next, when you have a question bend of mind, there is no doubts. You have a good balance of EQ and IQ. You have that inquiry set of mind. As you know, you are an investigator. Then only you can become a good leader. Agar aap soch rahe ho that I want to be a good leader just because I was the prefect of my school or I was the head boy of my school. No, that is not how you can do it. To be a good leader, these are the quality traits jo bahut zyada zarurat hai. That is strategic thinking, good balance of EQ and IQ, inquiry set of mind. You have to be a good investigator, right? And as I said you, the process, relearn, learn, and unlearn. This is how you have to move on. And I think then only you can excel in your life. If you believe that I'm the best, I know everything, I'm sorry. Your fall is inevitable, right? Now, when I'm talking about, leadership, now the most important thing is that you can see right now, our global youth is moving toward a shift. That's a logical shifting, right? People are pragmatic, right? There is one more terminology that is coming in front of us, that is practical spirituality. Now my next question to you, as I said, that let's be interactive. I want responses from your side. What is practical spirituality? Anyone? Anyone? What is practical spirituality? Kya hota hai? What do you feel by the terminology? Practical spirituality. Yes, guys. I can wait for 30 seconds for your response. Can I have some acknowledgement? What is practical spirituality? Your thought and actions, okay? Everyday thought, Shan is telling. Arushi is telling your thought and action. Philosophy, which could imply in real life, very good. Yukti is telling bringing the sacred to our everyday thoughts and action, maybe the values that are relevant to our society today, very good. Saurav, I think so. Arushi, how one respond to his surrounding, knowing things in depth, joy, passion, gratitude, welfare of the society without monetary gain, vibrance and power. Okay, fine. Now see what is practical spirituality. Now everybody believes that spirituality is something where we pray to God, where we spend some good time with God, right? Definitely that is spirituality, but that definition is not applied in every sense. Let's see how. As a leader, you have to deal with sinner as well as saint. Yes or no? Good and bad, right? As a leader, you have to deal with both the things. That is only what is called as practical spirituality. That means you are very much pragmatic from your viewpoint, and you have a good balance. You can maintain the things in a good balance. As I said, you balance of EQ, IQ, balance of good and bad, saint and sinner. So as a leader, you need that quality. I think many of you have read Gita. That is one of the, best book I feel in this world. Why I'm talking about Gita? If you say Gita, it begins with a confusion, to be or not to be. Krishna act as a facilitator over there, right? Leave Gita. If Gita is very boring, let's move to a very, famous movie that was there named as Lion King, right? If you remember the character of Simba, I guess all of you know the Simba the tiger, right? So Rafiki comes in between and reminds Simba that you are way more powerful. You have to believe in yourself. So see all these things. If you read anything, if you read Gita, if you check out this kind of movie, everywhere you will see that everywhere it is talking about leadership, and to be a good leader, you need to balance both the things. Now, when we are talking about balancing, next, what need to be balanced? It is said, बहुत डिफिकल्टी होता है और बहुत डिफिकल्ट होता है when we handle failure in your life. But believe me, it is not I'm telling you. The renowned writer, the renowned books, everywhere it is said that it is also very difficult to handle success in your life. So you need to balance success as well as you need to balance failure in your life. I think then only we can be successful in our life, right? Okay, now why I'm talking about all these things, because see, the most important thing is everywhere it is said that you have to read more, be into the reading part. Once you are into the reading part, you will be aware about different ideas, right? Different terminologies, different thought process, which you can utilize when you are in the public speaking zone, where you are maybe for the group discussion or you are for the interview part, right? Because all this example you can state, right, while putting your points, because nobody wants philosophical views from you. So that is why I'm telling you these things, that read more. Once you expose to different kinds of reading, you can understand. Like one book coming to my mind when we talk about leadership, undoubtedly the book should be Why Leaders Eat Last. Please check after the session if you have time. Why Leaders Eat Last. You will understand that how to deal with leadership, how to excel in your life, and how to take a bold step in your life, right? So moving on with the slides, we will be discussing again about this. Now, when we talk about resume, the first and the most important thing is that you can put it the way you want. There is no fixed design, but there are some parameters that you need to follow. Agar aap wo follow karte ho, then it is perfectly fine. But maximum time we get confused that what should be the design, what should be the layout. Don't worry about that. That can be done according to the way you want. But kuch parameters hai jisko hame follow karna hi padega. So when we talk about characteristic of a successful resume, let's see. So first is focusing on your skills. Very important. Your action words will actually define you. That's why it is said that spend some time with yourself and try to find out. Go for SWOT analysis. Go for PESTEL. Then only you will understand that what are the things that you are good at. What are the things that you can put it or use it while going for this kind of things. Moving to the next is easy to read and understand. It should not be crowded with information. Usse kya hota hai, the person who is reading it often get confused, or aisa bhi ho sakta hai, some important parameter you have presented over there or you have written over there, that person can avoid it, right? Next, visually powerful and free of gimmicks. There should be no error, and the words that should be used, that should be precise but very powerful, as I'm talking about action words. Next, 1 page or at least 2 pages long. As there was a question, I think, from one of you that 1 page ka resume kaise hota hai. There is no problem if you're making a 1 page resume, but if it is powerful, it is impactful, then there is nothing to worry. As I said you, the layout, the design is not a problem. The problem is what are the things you are presenting over there. Moving to the next, as your sir has also stated that please be 100% truthful, because whatever you're putting in the resume, and after resume checking, once you will be going for the interview round, you will be checked minutely. Jo bhi adjectives, maybe some good adjectives you have used to describe yourself, those things will be checked in the interview. Now, the problem is in interview, at least we can manage. But what about psychometric testing? In psychometric testing, you will see that there are some questions will be given to you, which are situational based question. And on the basis of those questions, you will be analyzed properly that whatever you're mentioned in your resume, are you honest or not? Okay, so that's why it is very important that you be honest. And you can be honest when you spend some time with yourself and you go for these activities like SWOT analysis, PESTEL, right? You will get a clear analysis about yourself. Next, contains no inappropriate personal information. Those things that are not required should not be there. Produced on a computer, because maximum time students prefer to keep the things or use in the mobile phone only, and later on when they go for a printout, everything's get hodgepodge. So it is always better that you check it, put it in on a computer or a laptop, so that the layout part is not disturbed after the printout. And the last important thing is data presented in chronological order. So there are some data that you have to present in chronological order. There are some data that you have to present in reverse chronological order. So we will be talking about that. If you have any question, kindly use the chat box. So moving forward. Now, most important thing that you have to understand that what is the difference between a resume, biodata, and CV. Now, you may think that this is a very simple question, but believe me, in interview, this simple question are also been asked. I know a very live interview which I've seen for the placement drive of Deloitte, where a simple question was asked to a student that what is the difference between resume, biodata, and CV. So you should know everything from the basic to the advanced level properly so that you can make your answer ready on spot. So coming to biodata, that's an old format. Now it is not been in used, because once we go for any kind of form filling for any kind of higher education, there it is preferred. Other than that, it is out of date right now. Next is resume and CV. So can you tell me what is the difference between resume and CV? Yes, students, can I have some acknowledgement? Kya hota hai? What is the basic difference between resume and CV? Yes, anyone? Can I have some acknowledgement? What is the difference between resume and CV? As today we are having a resume building session. Why not CV building session? Anyone with the answer? Just use the chat box. Don't raise your hand. Use the chat box so that we can have your answer. Okay, I'm not getting any acknowledgement from your side. I think people are raising their hands only. Okay, so let's see. I will tell you the answer. So the difference between resume and CV is that resume is generally for the freshers and CV is for the experienced person. This is actually the difference. Resume will be to the point and CV will be little bit in details, right? More details, because once you become experienced, you have to tell what are the role you played, what was the responsibilities you handled, what are the hours, achievements regarding that particular profile. So CV is a little bit in more detail, but resume is for the freshers, right? Right to the point. Like some pointers play quite important role. Those are your educational qualification, those are your social activity, your skills, your participation in different activities. Those plays quite an important role. Okay, so moving forward. Now, the most important quotation that has been stated over here is that all progress takes place outside the comfort zone. I think all of us believe in it, right? If you feel that I'm okay, I know everything, and I'm safe in this particular zone, then you're in the wrong room. As I stated the very first quotation to you. So it is always better that you take the challenge and you go outside your comfort zone. So I will be quickly share another slide with you to make you understand this. Okay, I think the screen is visible to you. Can I have some acknowledgement? The screen is visible. Okay. Fine. I'm only getting participants raising their hands. Okay, fine. Fine. I think Sabina ma'am, they're not able to use the chat box. That's why they're raising their hands. Anyways, okay. So moving forward, now this is a very small activity where we will try to see that why I'm talking about success and failure, because when we see renowned personality, that or those we can state as an example, definitely, but those are actually motivation factors for us as well. Okay, so let's check and let's see how well you can answer. So I will request to use the chat box, and if you know the answer, you can share with us. So let's start. So the first person you have to guess, a famous person. Okay. A famous person who was defeated 7 times while running for political office. Can you guess who is the person? Who is the personality? Modi ji? No. Sorry, not Modi ji. Oh God, no, not Rahul Gandhi. Yogi? No. Amit Shah, Abraham Lincoln. Okay, fine. Okay. Exactly, the right answer is definitely Abraham Lincoln. Definitely. Well done. Those who have answered nicely. Thank you so much for your responses. Okay. Moving to the next question. Let's see. A cartoonist who was told by the editor of the Kansas City newspaper that it's easy to see from these sketches that you have no talent. Can you just guess who was the person? Disney? Okay. Mr. Bean? Okay. Let's see. Stanley? Okay. Anyone else who wants to share? Pablo Picasso? Okay. Okay, fine. Okay, let me share the answer with you. So the answer is definitely Walt Disney, right? He was told and he was humiliated rather, and he was fired from his newspaper job at the beginning. So well done, those who have answered correctly. Moving to the next slide. An author whose first children's book was rejected by 2 to 3 different publishers. An author whose first children's book was rejected by 2 to 3 different publishers, and later on he became very famous. No, not J.K. Rowling, anyone other than J.K. Rowling, because this is a very common terminology, common term. Anyone other than J.K. Rowling? I think it was more than 3 times for J.K. Rowling. Exactly 2 to 3 different publishers. Very good, Ananya, very good. Right. So moving for the answer, the right answer is Dr. Seuss' first book. 23 different publishers actually rejected him, while the 24th accepted and sold 6 million copies of it. Very good, Ananya. Well done. Moving for the next question. A famous singer who was fired after his first performance at the Grand Ole Opry. Anyone? Justin Bieber? No. I know we are in a generation where we love Justin Bieber. Eminem? No. Okay, I will give you a hint. Recently, there is election going on, and very good, very good. Who is this? Baivavi, very good. So recently, Trump also mentioned his name as an example. Okay, I'm getting funny answers from your side, Dhinchak, Pooja and all. Very sorry. So the right answer is exactly Elvis Presley, right? He was fired after his first performance, right? Well done, Baivavi. You have answered very fast and correctly also. Moving to the last question from this slide. A famous actress who was dropped out of high school and held a variety of odd jobs, including doing the hairdo and makeup for corpses, finally succeeding in show business. Who am I? This was also there recently. Tom Cruise, Aishwarya Rai, first of all, actress, Avinash. This was also there in the latest editorial. Opera, no. Opera Winfrey, no. Natalia Portman, okay. Anyone else? Okay, let's go for the answer. So the right answer is Whoopi Goldberg. The right answer is Whoopi Goldberg. Latest, there was the interview from her side in the TED Talk also you can check, right? And recently there was an editorial written about her also, which became very famous worldwide. Okay, now why I shared all these things with you. First, we played an activity just to check how much you're updated. Because once you're updated, you can use this as an example, as I said you, when you go for your interview round or when you go for any kind of public speaking activity. And also the other purpose is to understand that how to handle failure and success in our life, and to understand the important traits of leadership or how to be a good leader. So to be a good leader, 6 parameters I have mentioned over here, which you need to take care as a management student, definitely. And if you're planning definitely something for the management, so definitely you need all this parameter. Strategic thinking, planning delivery, people management, change management, communication skill, persuasion and influence, right? So as I was telling you that go for SWOT analysis, go for PESTEL, go for Potter's 5 forces, go for scenario analysis, because these are the activities or these are the analysis that will make you understand that what is your strategy, what is your signature strength that you can mention in your resume. Planning and delivery, once we talk, you have to be good with the decision making and problem solving skills. So start solving different types of case studies, because I must share with you that now the trend is changing. Recently, now what is happening due to this COVID-19, everything is changed. So the hiring process is also getting changed. So what the companies are preferring, companies are sending you case studies, and they're asking you to solve the case studies. After checking the answer, if they like, then only they are going for the telephonic round or for the other rounds, right? So that's why it is very important that you go for this kind of case study solving, which are available in the internet. You can pick up and you can solve. More you do whenever you are having your free time, I think your decision making skill or your problem solving skills can be enhanced. Moving to the next one, people management skill. I think you know enough about it, and that's why it is said that whenever you are in the college arena, take part in different activities, right? So that you can interact and you can understand yourself. Next is innovation skills. How much innovative you are, we will be talking about it when we will move to the last part of our session. Communication skills, another important factor which you need to work on, because it is now a prime factor in every job profile everywhere, right? And the last one is persuasion and influencing skills. Once you can influence other, definitely you can be proved as a good leader. Now the difference between leader and manager, who can tell me what is the difference between leader and manager? What is the difference between leader and manager? Anyone? I think this is a very basic question. What is the difference between leader and manager? Leaders who give orders, okay. Leader has to make path for followers, okay. Leaders lead the team. Okay, leaders basically bring best out of you, but who are managers then? Manager who hustle together. Okay, very good, Avinash. Quite interesting. Leaders have a vision, manager who follows it, okay, who manage the group. Leaders are informal, Arushil is telling, managers who controls, okay. Leaders lead the team. Okay, fine. So this is another common question that you have to face in your interview round also. So in a very easy way, if I have to define what is leader and what is manager, definitely you people are right and everybody have their own definition. So in a very short and crisp way, if we say, then leaders do the right things and managers do things right. Again, I will repeat, leaders do the right things and manager do things right. That is a basic difference between the two. And if you have to define, leaders create, managers maintain, in a very simple way. Leaders create, so manager maintains. So one important parameter to be a good leader is definitely your creativity. So work on your creativity as much as you can. Right. Now let's come back to the resume. Again, we will be talking about all this thing. So once we talk about resume writing, there are some rules that you need to follow. So let's see what are the rules. Be relevant to the point, be concise, consistent, considers employer's perspective. Now, the problem is, once upon a time, we created or we composed our resume and we try to use it everywhere we want. Right. So that is actually a myth. So you have to understand, every time you're planning to apply somewhere, every time you're planning to use your resume, please make sure you edit it and put the information that are required for that particular rule. So this is one important thing that you have to follow. Second, it should be concise, it should be consistent and to the point. As I said, you don't make it overcrowded, right? According to the key responsibility, according to the position, you have to maintain the skills, the awards, the projects, the internship that you have done. It is not that everything you have to mention over there. That should be kept in mind. Moving forward, now, when we talk about general set of features, so these are the general set of features that you have to follow. So front, it is always preferred. It should be Times New Roman. It should be a regular paper white. Okay. Front size 12 point, no underlining, single-sided, margin should be 1 inch all around. Use bolding and caps to stand out. That means capital letters can be used to stand out or to highlight some information. Number pages should be there if it is more than one. No graphics and same front throughout, right? But sometimes the size can vary, but same front throughout should be maintained. So these are the general set of features that you need to follow. Moving forward, now, how to choose the right format? This is another important question that you have to keep in mind. So let's see how to choose a right format. So once we talk about the resume format, so the first important thing is focus should be on your strength and achievements. And that's why I said that please try to go for SWOT analysis. Please try to go for PESTEL so that you get a clear idea ki, ye mera strength hai that I need to mention, by which I am going to nail the whole performance. Next, has the keywords that highlight your career goals. See, again, the action words, again, the importance of communication skill we can get from this pointer. Next, should not be overloaded with unnecessary information already shared with you. And last is crisp formatting that makes it stand out. So you have to keep in mind that overcrowded thing will not work out. To the point, concise thing will actually make you to stand out, right? Now, important things, it should be free from error. It should be easy to read. So please go for a spell check, very important. Grammatical errors should not be there, right? Next, tidy and well organized it should be. Avoid copying your friend's resume. That is one of the mistakes we do as a student. That should be kept in mind. Layout, title and number of section may vary. So it can be dependent on your personal experience. So most important points that we have to keep in mind. till now. Focus on your more strength and achievements, right? Next, highlight or use the keywords that will highlight your main important points. Don't put unnecessary information. Don't just make it crowded. Make it error-free, easy to read, grammatically correct, tidy and well organized, and it should not be copied from others. Any question till now? Any question till now from your side? Okay, moving forward. Now, next is what information should be in a resume. So we have understand the basic thing that we need to do while composing our resume. Now, the next question that comes in, that what are the information that we have to put while creating our resume? So first is identifying yourself. This is a very basic parameter. If you know that how I can describe myself, if you know what are my strength factor, what are my achievements, what are the things I need to put according to the job profile, that is very important thing. Next is your education as a student, as a fresher. This is going to be your trump card. If you're pursuing any kind of courses, any certification, any kind of academics, that should be also mentioned. If you have any personal or professional experience, right, please do mention over there. If you have any kind of volunteer experience, that's also you can put, and that is why it is said that in the college, it is always better you take part in different kind of activities. It can be social, it can be anything, so that later on you can mention those things in your resume. Activities that you have taken part, computer skills, professional associations, optional sections can be put over there. Optional sections like reference. Reference can be a optional one, right? Next is your objective. I'm very sorry to interrupt because it's very easy to use chat box like a coward and put all those things to distract the session. If you don't like, you can get out. Nobody is stopping you. I'm very sorry. If you put or use this type of things in the chat box, I'm getting distracted. At the end of the day, you're representing your college. It seems like that you don't have any kind of WhatsApp group or any kind of friend zone where you can discuss such things. At least maintain the decency. Next is, yes, definitely, your online bullying only. At least we have to maintain some decency when we are in a session. Little bit courtesy. From the beginning till the end, some people are there who are misusing the chat box. Maybe I'm missing some important question. What kind of decency is this? You're grown-up kids, you're planning for professional arena. If you're not interested, please get out. No problem. No problem. We have no problem. We want genuine people who want to learn. Constantly, I'm speaking, I'm putting my efforts, and your friends are trying to interact. Though it's online, so it's a big challenge. Sorry. Okay, coming back to the next thing is that mention your special skills and abilities and reference statement. So as I was telling you, that reference statement is something that is optional. If you want, you can put. If you don't want, you can simply write down. That will be updated once required. So this is how you can maintain the whole thing. Now, out of all the important parameters, it is totally up to you what are the skills you're having or what are the parameter you want to put. But the most important is the objective. So what is objective? Objective of a resume is considered as a mother statement. Why mother statement? Because the 2 lines that you will be using in the first case will prove that how much good you are, right? And who are you? That is the most important question that will be projected by this particular objective. So it is always said that take care of the objective. Once you're writing the objective, don't be needy. I will be sharing some sample with you today only. Next is, when you're writing the objective, keep in mind that you remember it, because maybe in the PI round, just to cross check that whether you have put your efforts while building your resume, they can ask you the question. So what are your objectives, right? So moving on, Now coming to the objective, as I said you, this is a mother statement. So it is generally of 1 or 2 sentences. You can mention the type of position you're looking for and what position would you like to find, that also you can put. And please use the skills that you can mention, right? Because that will actually attract the crowd. Just a minute, guys. Sabina ma'am, you are there? Hello,
Yes, ma'am,
Sabina
I'm there. Yes,
Ma'am,
ma'am, I'm there.
kindly remove this kind of students who are using the chat box.
They're all being removed, and all the IP addresses are being tracked. And the students who are violating the community guidelines, there will be legal action against them. So
Yeah,
they are. Don't worry. You continue the session. I'm keeping a track of all the students who are creating nuisance. So this will be taken up with the authorities as well.
Ma'am, I want to say
Yes.
something. If they are the
Yes, sir.
students of our college, like principal sir has also ordered the query and it has been instructed to the IT department of our college to check the IP addresses, as well as we take the inputs from Bullseye as well. If they are, it happens to be our students, we'll chunk them out of the college and they'll be no more be studying here in our college. So I would request all the students to please restrain from doing all this stuff. Thank you. Please continue, ma'am. So sorry.
Great, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Great, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Sabina ma'am. Thank you. So moving forward to the next pointer. Now, how to write an objective. So I have shared the example with you. Kindly go through. As I was telling you, that objective is the main thing that you should use, because that's a mother statement. While using the objective, you should keep in mind that don't be needy and don't write it in the same way, like to obtain a position. Ye purana ho chuka hai. Right. So don't use this type of words. It is always better to show that what you will contribute and what you want. So kindly go through the objective. If there is any question, you can put. I will take the question from Ayush. Yes, Ayush, you can use some colored tables, but it should follow the professional zone, right? Definitely you can follow the colored tables. And one more thing I want to share with you, that suppose the post also matters, which profile you are applying for. Suppose you're going for architecture, suppose you're going for design field, so there you need to do some kind of designs and layouts. Definitely you can do, but when other than that, if you want to use design or any kind of color thing, that should be to the point, not too much crowded with colors and all, right? Professional things should be maintained. That is very important. So I guess you have checked that how not to be needy and to show that, yes, you want to contribute, right? Okay, so moving forward. Now, next is your education. So once we talk about the educational qualification, as I said you, that for freshers, this is very mandatory, right? Like for you people, it is very, very important, right? So once we mention the educational qualification, it should be done in reverse chronological order. That means you should first mention that present, that let's suppose you are doing graduation, then will be your +2 and then will be your 10. This is how you should mention it. There is a question. Ma'am, simple resume is better or complex? Simple resume is always better. It cannot be a complex one, Akash. Why? I will tell you. Suppose there is a myth that whatever skills we have, whatever things we have, we need to mention in a particular resume. Now, the problem is there are some questions like this. Tell me something that you haven't mentioned in your resume. Now, if you mention everything, what are you going to answer? So it is always better to keep some points in hand, okay? So simple resume is always acceptable, but the parameters that we discussed, that grammatical errors, the layout, the front, the errors, that should be actually taken care of. Education, yes, only education should be mentioned in a reverse chronological manner, not the experience. Okay, moving forward. Now, once we talk about the key competencies, let's see what are the key competencies we should take care of. Phrase yourself well as I'm telling you that the words that you will be using, the action words that you will be using, that matters a lot. Next, use action verbs. Stick to the point, very important. A falsified resume can cost you the job letter, as said by your sir, and we have also discussed that it is very important to be honest. Some example of key competencies are like this: project management, site and construction management, resource planning and control, quality quantity surveying, cost engineering, public speaking, market surveying, problem solving. So these are the things that you can mention. Leadership skills. Okay. So these are the things that you can mention once you are talking about the key competencies parameter. This will show that these are the skills that you are your signature strength. As I'm telling you, because resume building is all about your signature strength. Moving forward. Now, next is the two things that comes to our mind is hard skills and soft skills. So first we will take care of the hard skills. So once we take care of hard skill, it can be also your academic core subject. That also you can mention under hard skills. Suppose you're doing English honors. So you can mention that English is one of my hard skills. So definitely you can mention that. No need to worry about it that I'm not having hard skill. What should I put, right? Apart from that, some example I put over here, like software development, data management. Like as I'm telling you, you people are student and we are stuck in our home only right now. So definitely you can go for some extra certification courses. Certification courses can be done, or that is right now in demand, are like foreign languages, AI, machine learning. So these are the things that you can definitely go for, right? Digital marketing. This type of certification course later on you can mention under your hard skills columns. Moving forward. Next is soft skills. So now, before I talk about soft skill, the most important thing that you need to understand, according to 2020 LinkedIn data, our hard skills are important, but our soft skills are more important than that. Right. So you need to understand that what are the soft skill parameter you are having. And that's why it is very important that you take part in different sessions, different webinars to understand how to develop your soft skills. So what are soft skill? It's a very wide definition. Under it comes your leadership, your communication skill, time management, stress management, decision-making skill, team management, everything comes under this. So it is very important to take care of it. Web architecture, okay, I will come to that, Arushi. At the end, I will explain, definitely. I will take all the questions. Yes, definitely, Babba, there are so many sites. Like if you go like for BITS Pilani, they are offering some good courses. Coursera, they are also going for this. Harvard, Oxford, they are also offering so many courses. So you need to understand that what is the authenticity of that particular program, and definitely you can go for it. Yes, and there are some particular sites right now which are recognized universally. Definitely you should go for it. That is what I was telling you, that COVID-19 is actually a blessing for us because we are learning so many things around us and it is very easy to get connected with the things, right? So these are some of the soft skills that I have mentioned over here. So definitely you need to mention your hard skill and soft skill to make your resume a little bit enhanced one. Moving forward. Now, next is project and management. If you have worked in any project, if you have gone for any kind of training, so definitely you need to mention it, right? So the first is the purpose, how to mention it. So once we are talking about the projects and training, so the first parameter that comes is the purpose. What is your real potential? That will be getting reflected. Next is reveals the initiative you have taken, right? Next, guidelines. Guidelines includes like title, project name, role, company, organization that should be given. The time period that was taken should be clearly mentioned. Next is priority according to the importance of the project. Entry should be done in reverse chronological order and be very specific about what you have accomplished. So these are the guidelines that you need to maintain when you are carrying on with your projects or training part. Okay, now there is a question I will take from Raghav. Stick to our field or gain certificate from various. Raghav, see, it is nothing like that. If you are gaining certification in other fields, that will not matter at the end of the day. Believe me, at the end of the day, it is very important to show that yes, you are into so many multitasker. As simple as that. If you prove that yes, I'm a student of suppose commerce, but I'm taking care of the other things as well, that actually will present you in a very enhanced way. So definitely you can go for it, but profile should be checked nicely. According to the profile, the requirements, the things should be mentioned at the first place. So moving forward, so add factual result if there is anything that you can mention, right? Now I'm going to show you the example how to write down the projects and the training part in the next slide. Okay, so please go through the slide. You can understand, you get a clear brief that how to present the project and the training part. If there is any question you can put, because whatever pointers I have discussed in the last slide, those have been projected over here. Navjot, other things as in suppose you are a student of humanities, right? But you are interested in something like maybe accountant or accountancy or something for the tax part. So if you want to go any kind of certification for that, definitely you can mention. Nobody's stopping you from doing it. The point is you need to understand according to the job profile, what should be placed in the first place and what should be put in the second place and what should be kept in my hand. That should be there. A balance of all the things. Fine. Okay. So moving forward. It should be mentioned, Ayush. The format will be like first, definitely will be your resume writing the heading, your name, right? If you want to mention, like some people mention their last degree that they have achieved, your email ID, right? Your phone number, a picture should be there as you are a fresher. Then it should be your objective. Then educational qualification. Then you can talk about the projects and internship. You can talk about your skills, right? Yes, one by one, I'm coming to that, Ramesh. So you can mention your skills, okay? Then you can talk about your other certification, awards and achievements you can mention, right? Then you can write down about any kind of other extracurricular activities that you have taken part, right? That you can mention. And at the last part, you can mention personal dossier or personal information where you can mention about your address, your father's name, your date of birth, languages known, and hobbies. Because right now there is a trend that no need to mention hobbies separately. You can mention the hobbies under personal dossier, right? And at the end, you can write down a reference if you want to give. With that, you can end. That's all, right? Now, coming to the next is awards and achievements. So once we talk about achievements and awards, so these are the things that you can put, anything that you have got in Dean's List, scholarship, any kind of grant, any kind of prizes, even if you are nominated, that also you can mention, right? Professional, social, significant accomplishment, committees and leadership roles. So all this thing you can mention under the parameter of achievements and awards as a fresher. Till now, any question from your side? Any other question that you want to ask? Because we have started with the session where we talked about little bit about the leadership part, because very important leadership is to create your own brand. Then we have taken care of basic thing that should be avoided and that should be taken care of while you're planning to compose your resume. And then one by one, we have started with the parameters of resume, objective, achievement, educational qualification, projects and internship. Any question till now from your side? Good to go? Okay. So moving forward, work experience is must. There is nothing like that. It depends on the job profile. If they are requiring for something like they want an experienced person of 8 years, that is totally dependent on the job experience or JD rather. Right? It is nothing like must or something. There are jobs available even for the freshers right now. Now, one thing that is coming to my mind as you are college students. So how many of you are into the writing part? Anybody who loves to write? Anybody? Okay, Mehak is raising her hand. So suppose if you are interested in the writing part, right now blog writing is very much in the trend. By doing blog writing, you can earn very easily. So I think it is very important that you start writing something. Anything, whatever you have, whatever qualities you have, if you use it, and if you use it in the proper platform, that can actually give you the right platform. Okay, so moving forward. Now, once we talk about the academic achievements, you can put these things in this way. Kindly go through it. So you can mention the awards and recognition earned by you during your academics. So this is how you can mention. Example has been stated. I think it is very simple to understand. So I'm skipping this slide. Now, next is extracurricular activities. Once we talk about extracurricular activities, this is a very important keynote, because this can be a topic of discussion during the interviews. While talking about your signature strength, you can use this extracurricular activities as examples, because believe me one thing, once you go for the interview, if you say that I'm good in this, I'm good in that, they're not going to believe. So whenever you are talking about anything regarding your signature strength, you should always have an example. Suppose I have taken part in one of the event organized by my college, and there I realized that I'm a very good team player. And that's why I consider that I am a good leader, and I'm also a good team player under your skills, right? So moving on to this, once we talk about extracurricular activities, you can list it in reverse chronological order also. It's up to your wish. Categories can be national, state, that can be also highlighted, right? And you can write down the achievements from 12th onwards. Because why it is from 12th onwards? Because previous to that date, maybe you're not having the certification with you. If you're having all the certificates with you, definitely you go for it. But if you don't have the certificates with you, it is always better to avoid those. So once we talk about extracurricular activities, I have put some example. Kindly check. So suppose you were a house captain, prefect, head boy, head girl, you have organized or taken part in any kind of cultural events, you can mention. Yes, Ayush, definitely we should keep some points, some activities in our hand which are not required for the JD, you feel, so that if the person asks you, tell me something about yourself that you have not mentioned in your resume, ये सारे क्वेश्चन को आंसर करने के लिए those pointers will be helpful. That's why it is said कि don't put or don't use same resume every time. Edit it according to the requirement of the house. Okay, so moving forward. Now, next is interpersonal skills, which is also another important trait. So once we talk about interpersonal skills, you can mention that I'm a self-determined person, positive mindset, active listener, team player, team runner. So this thing you can mention. Yes, Akash, it is important to mention your hobby, but right now the trend of 2020 is that separately आपको hobby की mention करने का जरूरत नहीं है. You can mention it under personal information or personal dossier. There you can mention. Definitely, Shet, definitely Vanshaj, you can mention the quiz competitions. Definitely, if you have own anything, definitely you can mention. Right? Okay, so moving forward, obviously, why not Navjot? That can be there. Now coming to the reference. So reference should be also mentioned in our resume, but it depends if there is requirement. If you have, you can write. If you don't have, you can simple write down available upon request. This is how you can ignore or manage the whole thing. There are two ways. One, you can mention in detail, and the other, you can just write down available upon request. Moving on. So there are three main resume formats that you need to understand. That is chronological resume, functional resume, and combination resume. See, when we are in the research and development part, we prefer always to see that which is the correct layout But I think before you decide to compose your resume, you understand that what are the different types of resume और वो किस चीज के लिए applicable है. If this part is clear to you, I think nobody can stop you from understanding. You can see I have put the 3 types over here. This is the 3 main types. So when we talk about chronological resume, it focus on your work experience. Functional resume जो होता है, it actually focus on your skills. And combination में दोनों चीज ही important होता है. So you need to understand that what is the correct format for me, and then please carry on with the resume building. Yes, Prithu, definitely you can mention some. Maybe you have won some competition, or you have taken part in some competition which you have done in your school days. Okay, so maybe you were in the primary section at that time, you have taken part. So definitely you can mention them, right? So moving forward, now the chief focus wise also I have mentioned the different types of resume: reverse chronological resume, functional, and combination. The main difference is work experience, other one is skills, and combination is set of 2. Just go for it, then I will move to the next slide. Harshit, there is no wrong or perfect format. As I started my session with that note only. Once you go for resume writing, the most important thing you need to understand, suppose today I'm going to compose my resume. The first pointer that should be with me, that for what reason I'm composing my resume, what is the job profile, and the last one is how much I know about myself. Right? So once these parameters are clear, the basic things if you follow, then it is perfectly fine. If you check in internet, there are so many layouts you are having. Good for freshers. For freshers, it should be definitely functional resume. Obviously functional resume. If you're having any kind of freelancing experience, that definitely you can mention. That is also that's way you can be considered experienced one. So you can go for a combination resume, Harshit. Moving forward. So do's for writing a resume: be brief, customize your resume, already discussed. Use action words and positive words, write to the point, keep it simple, and use a positive tone. Use a clear, uncluttered layout. So layout should be clear one. That is the most important. And special effects का ज़्यादा ज़रूरत नहीं होता है, ज़्यादा accepted नहीं होता है. But there are job profile, as I said you, for designer, for architectures, where they require special effects, they require some kind of colorful one. So there you can go for it. We need all the question of attendees getting this. I'm trying to answer whatever questions are coming from your way. If you want to write down, you can use the chat box more. So point to be taken care of. So when you are going for interview, avoid folding your resume. This is a very bad habit we have. Don't include irrelevant information. Say what you did, not what you think. Very important pointer. आप क्या सोचते हो? There it is not going to play an important role. What you have achieved, what you did plays the most important role. Don't make spelling mistakes. Very important, very vital. Personal information जो जरूरत है वही mention कीजिए. Avoid unusual font size. Avoid repeating information, because when you are in the public speaking zone, whether it is resume writing, whether it is interview section, you have to avoid this. Okay. Avoid personal pronoun, I, my, me. Don't use this kind of personal pronoun when you are composing your resume. And do not outsource, do it yourself. Very important. Again, I'm repeating the point that it is you who can do it. You can deal with it very nicely. Nobody else can do it. So do it yourself. Outsource matlab Arushi, maximum time we prefer, we pay to someone else, the third party, to create our own resume, or we ask our friends also to create our own resume. So that should not be done. Do it yourself. So moving forward. So as I was telling to you that action words again and again. So these are some of the action words that you can mention to create a good impact, like transcended, superseded, restructured, pioneered, obtained. Okay. If you want, you can take a screenshot of it. Moving to the next page. These are few more action words like conduct, delegated, diverse, facilitate, headed, recommended, secured. Okay, so this type of action words will actually prove that yes, you're very good with the communication skills part and you have come after a good amount of research. Moving forward, some basic questions on resume. This I'm skipping as the time is very short. So these are the type of the question you can face in the PI round, like how would your best friend will describe you? What is the last book that you have read? Why did you select this college, this stream? So you should be aware about this. Next important thing is, as a fresher, it is very important you use a cover letter with your resume. So rules to write the cover letter and content we will be checking. So one by one. Okay, so once we talk about the rules and the content of an cover letter, the cover letter can be of 3 paragraphs. The way we write down a formal letter, same way we will be taking care of cover letter. It should be a professional one. Proper greeting should be there. Proper ending should be done. No grammatical errors, to the point. Talk about your skills, your experience, your qualification to prove them that yes, I'm the right candidate. Cover letter is actually professional etiquette that should be followed as a freshers when you're applying for some particular job. Okay, ma'am, either a person doing a new job in his life is need to write he's fresher. Amit, it is always better to be honest. If you're doing a new job, why not to mention? I think aaj ke date mein, if you have little bit of experience, even of 6 months, that also matter. So why to hide? Be honest. Now moving to the next last parameter, that once we talk about resume writing, जहाँ पे हम सोचते रहते कि resume writing कब करे, कैसे करे and everything. I think as a student you should start doing it in advance so that you can give ample of time to it. Believe me, जब आप resume writing compose करने बैठोगे, you will see it is not one day's job. It takes time to make a perfect one. Now, one more another thing as a student that you can do is right now in the trend, that is video resume. So what is video resume? Video resume is a small video that you can make on yourself. Some of the pointers जो आपको mention करना है और maintain करना है, rather आपको एक script पहले ही decide करना है. On that script you have to speak. Right, next you have to know your audience. इसका मतलब है you have to make a difference between professional and personal life. So personal चीजें आप वहां पे नहीं बताओगे. When you are creating your video resume, it should be brief, like it can be max 5 minutes, not more than that. और ये जो आप video बनाओगे regarding your video resume, please avoid posting it on social media like Facebook or Insta. Make it professional, rather post it in your LinkedIn account. That will help you to attract the recruiters. Cover letter, Pravjot, is a particular letter that we write or that we use along with the resume. Right? Resume के साथ एक particular letter हम देते हैं as a professional etiquette. That is only cover letter. Okay. So any question till now from your side? Any question that you want to ask regarding resume writing? So I will tell you a little bit more about this. As a fresher, it is very important to add a picture. Don't avoid doing it. Right now, don't be stubborn. Okay, try to reach your wisdom, and that can be done when you are working properly. If you feel that while going for the PI or I am lagging with the communication skills part, students, I will request you to take part in activities. You can go for allocation class as well, because this is right time. This COVID-19 time is a blessing for us where we can uphold or we can just hone our skills, right? And coming to the last pointer, अगर आप ढूंढ रहे हो कि different types of format क्या है resume का, just you can note down some of the pointers. एक है Primo, PRIMO. Next is Nanica, NANICA. These are 2020 new formats that you can use. Just आपको format और layout download करना है, उसको feel करना है. Next is Diamond, DIAMOND. Next is Cubic, CUBIC. And the last one is Newcraft. Again, I will repeat: Nanica, Primo, Diamond, Cubic, Newcast. So these are the new latest different formats of 2020 which is acceptable in the market. Any question that is from your side? Now you can ask. I think we are towards the end of our session. Any question? Any question from your side? Now I can take your questions. Cover letter, as it is said that you have to create your own brand, you have to be a little bit different, you have to be professional. There, cover letter plays a very important role. For this, I think the concerned person number is over here. You can contact ma'am. She can help you regarding this. So guys, as I was talking more about leadership, now I think you can understand that why you need to be a leader, because you have to lead your life definitely. And always believe that celebrity comes and go, but jo hero hota hai, they stays forever. I think if you believe in it, you can do, you can handle, you can balance all the things that are required for your life in a very fantastic way. Any question? Kindly use the chat box. Sabina ma'am, if you want to share something, you can do it. Sabina ma'am, you're there?
Yes, yes, ma'am. We're just waiting for Mr. Gaurav to join in.
Okay.
And Mr. Amit sir.
Cover letter not compulsory, but if you use, that will be actually giving an enhanced look. That's why you can mention. Paras, if you have so many certificates, then I will request you that add which are required. You can avoid some, but if you want to add all of them, you can definitely go for it. How can the cover letter written? It can be done in the way we handle the formal letters only, right? Greeting should be proper, that is, respected sir and madam, this is to state you I am this, I'm having this skill set, this qualification, and I want to apply for you this position, right? This way. Yes, Sivanshu, definitely you can rejoin. Any other questions, guys, from your side? Otherwise, we are near to the end of the session. Does any formal or higher education require? If yes, it is different from job resume. Formal and higher education required, I wish, as I said you, it totally depends on the requirement of the job. If they're requiring for it, definitely you can go for it. Otherwise, I think for graduates, for freshers, there are so many opportunities coming. Just please, if you people are not having your accounts, join LinkedIn, and please, you will see that recruiters are looking for it right now. So many jobs are available. Work from home right now. Any other question?
Can you hear me?
Yes, Sabina ma'am. Yes, Sabina ma'am.
Yes,
Sabina
ma'am. So Mr. Gaurav won't be able to join us because he's in a meeting right now. So I think if the students are done with the questions, we can conclude the session.
Right. Yes, any question from your side? Prabjot, if you don't know how to use LinkedIn, nothing, just go to Play Store, download LinkedIn, and the way just you have to give and fill up your whole details and you can go for it. Share the link. Amit, which link you want? Resume for internship. The same way, Raghav, we have done almost in the same way we have to do, but make sure that you get it rechecked by some mentor. So that agar kuch errors hai, kuch layout mein changes karna hai, that person can guide you. And for internship, Raghav, cover letter is mandatory, where you can share that why you want to go or why you want to opt for that internship. How to utilize it. So you can take help from mentor if you're not understanding it, Prabjot. Or your friends. Anyone with any other question? Okay, so I think there are no more questions from your side. So I will again like to thank the Department of Management, Principal Sir, Mr. Gaurav, Mr. Amit, and the students for giving us the opportunity, right? And I want to thank Sabina ma'am for organizing this, as well as I want to thank Rakesh sir for giving me the opportunity to come forward. And we thank all of you that you have been so kind and so patient, and you have tried to make the session interactive, though there were some problems in between. Anyways, so thank you so much from our whole Hit Bullseye team. Thank you so much, and do well. Whatever discussed, at least 5% remember them and try to use them. Yes, Ramesh, what question you have? Resume Gmail ID, ma'am. I think we have shared the screen. Kindly go and check it. I think that will help you, Ramesh, for your answer. So guys, please stay well, be into more research and development. As I said you, that celebrity comes and go, hero stays forever. So be a hero and face your professional life in a fantastic way, right? There is no end of learning. Be into more research, keep reading more, because more you read, more you are enhanced about the things, and handle everything, balance everything very nicely to have a well sorted career. Thank you so much. Stay well. Thank you so much.